Hey everyone, this is Dr. Hisham Said again with another video for the group project of the Engineering, Economics and Business class in Santa Clara University. So this video I will introduce to you the last spreadsheet I will share with you, I promise, but it's mainly building on what you have done before with the validation report and the spreadsheet I shared with you. The new spreadsheet that you'll find on Camino, it looks almost the same as the one that you used before, but now adding more capabilities to make your life easier and adding more cells so you can expand the analysis that you did before for your joint venture company to include the DOT side of the business here, or the operations, and also do the benefit cost analysis. So starting now, explain the changes and the additions to the spreadsheet. Is that this spreadsheet, to make your life easier, has a VBA code or Visual Basic for Applications code. You don't have to deal with it. What you will see of it is only this button. So this button here is the magic that will make your life easier to experiment and analyze the different scenarios that you will come up yourself. You come up with it and try to win this project and submit it as your proposal, as you believe it will provide the bigger benefit to the public and also make your company profitable. So the VBA here works, you don't have to deal with it, but what you will do is you will set up your scenario. So like you did in scenarios 1, 2, 3 before, so you will pick the values for the different design and decision parameters here, and also enter the toll road here, or the toll fee. But one thing I want to make sure that you do is when you pick a toll fee, pick the value, let's say $10 or $5, put it in all years, regardless of what is the concession period you have here. So let's say I'll put here $9. So drag this all the way to the 50 years. So now we're doing the analysis for 50 years because we're doing a cost-benefit analysis, and the DOT we're interested to see how the traffic will be during the 50 years, regardless of the life of your joint venture company or the concession period for it. So once you set the toll fee that you select, drag it all the way, and then you should be ready to click this button to start analyzing or assigning the traffic over the whole period of the project, or 50 years, in every one of these. So when you click here, Analyze Project, now it does some coding and some magic here that changes the numbers that you have, assigning the traffic based on the traffic condition, and you see here the counter goes on and on until the 50th year. So waiting for it to run, but imagine this is doing it for a favor, because each scenario that you worked on, I assume that it took you at least 10 hours. So it does this in less than a minute, you can say. So now we can see now that it's done. And now the point I told you, drag the traffic fee or the toll fee all the way. Now the code takes care of making sure that it only applies to the concession period, which is here is 13 years, and then the rest is set to 0 by the VBA code, because now the your toll road is back to the DOT to be managed, so no tolls are collected from the public. So now after that you will have 2 roads, no toll available to the public. So this is the magic here, and you still have the values that you had before for the traffic. And one thing I want to show you here before, for this is scenario 1. So for scenario 1, you had $10 as your toll fee. Before that, you had 2.7% as your IRR. Now it gives you more when you reduce your toll fee. And this is one thing, not straightforward, but you need to pay attention that maybe reducing your toll fee will get you more traffic. So as a total, you will get more revenue and you will get more IRR. So don't exclude any possibilities. Try all possible scenarios and then narrow down the scenarios that you think will win you this project. Also, one thing here, maybe you see that you have a toll fee assigned during the construction, which doesn't make any sense, but actually it's not considered when you look at the toll fee here row. It doesn't matter because it gives it zero because this is a construction period. So you're not collecting, even if you assign a toll fee here, it's just redundant value that is not taken care of. It just kicks in once the construction period of 2 years is in action, and then you start collecting fees. So this is the first thing I want to discuss is the VBA. The button here makes your life much easier. The second part that you will see changing here is the public issues. So I added here also some drop-down options for every one of the public issue because they will affect your profitability in the scenarios, and they will affect your decisions. So for example, public issue 1 related to the homeless shelter, now it's reflected by which route you will pick, and then the other public issues have their own, and then public issue 5 is the DOT cost share. So if you check the description, based on the value here, it will determine if you agree or not with the request of the DOT for their preferred cost share value. So these public issues, these 3 now left, you can play with them without actually rerunning or reanalyzing the traffic because they don't have any impact on the traffic. They affect your cash flow or the values that you have for the cash flow here. So for example, let's see here. Now if you deal, the question now, will you deal with the minority and women businesses in construction, in your construction? So the option here that you had before before the validation report is don't consider this, so no. Now look at this button here. If I select yes, and how this is reflected in the construction cost. So if I select yes, before with the no, so if you don't deal with the MWB, you will have around 30.4 millions of construction costs in every year. Now if you select yes, it changes. It will be 35 almost millions because now you will add the contingency, and it will be more risky for you to deal with these businesses. So play with these, and also these will answer the questions raised related to the public issues. So these are available. They're also, the formulas for it are embedded into the sheet, so they are ready for you to use. So this is the second thing I wanted to cover, the public issues and how they are part now of the spreadsheet. The third thing is just a visual representation of your scenario here, which is the IRI chart, or the International Roughness Index. And you see here the green again it's the public, the red is your road, and you see here while the roads are being used, the roughness increases until the point that you hit the threshold, which is 2.5, and then you go down. Now the public road is modeled, so you didn't have to deal with this in the validation report, but now it's part of the sheet. You don't have to touch it, it's already done for you. That the traffic and the road condition of the public road, road A, is calculated for you over the 50 years. So now you have this graph showing to you the conditions of the both roads, and you see here the public road, you don't have control in it, but they will say once we cross 2.5, we will schedule rehabilitation. So this is something automatically done here. Now your road, it must not cross 2.5. So make sure when you put the value here 2.15, it make sure that whenever rehabilitation is scheduled, it's done just before it crosses 2.5. So even this value here is 2.16. There's still some space here until you hit the 2.5. If you try increasing the limit here, it will actually hit, because it will go through a one heavy year of traffic, and then this will cross you the 2.5 and put you under the risk of the breaching the contract with the DOT. So always pay attention, the toll operator here, that when you put the value here, look at the chart and make sure you are not crossing the 2.5 limit. Don't care about the public road, it's not your responsibility, but look at the red and make sure that you're not crossing the 2.5 IRI limit that you need to abide by. So we covered so far the VBA, the public issues, the public road now during the toll road existence, what is the condition of the traffic volume through it. So this is all covered now, and the graph. The last thing I want to cover here is now this is almost ready for you to use, except for the benefit cost analysis. So the benefit cost analysis, you need to end up with a benefit cost ratio, which is mainly the main metric that I will use to pick the winning team. Now, how to calculate this? You need to calculate the net present value of the benefits and the net present value of the net cost. Now, part of the benefit cost analysis is to evaluate the public road without a toll road. So this is done, it doesn't change with the scenario, so it's always the case that you will have, I mean, if you keep the public road alone, operating and open only alone for the traffic, so it will take all the traffic for 50 years, so it doesn't matter what is the scenario you are proposing. It is assuming like the DOT will change its mind and say, let's stick with only one road for 50 years. Now the benefit cost analysis here is done incrementally by looking at what is the net benefits between the case of having the toll road and the case of having no toll road, and what is the net or the delta in the net cost between the case of having the toll road and the case of having no toll road. So I will leave to you here to think about these values, but I will give you a hint that the net benefits are calculated by having the difference between the equivalent time savings, or the equivalent times, I'm sorry, between the case of having the two roads and the case of having one road. And I guess it's clear that when you have two roads, the drivers will experience less travel time compared to having one road. Everyone is using one road, but if you have two roads, then the traffic is split, and it will be much easier to move between the two points of origin and destination. So this is reflected actually by the equation here, that the equivalent travel time includes everything that the drivers experience. So it includes their actual travel time, and it includes the tolls that they pay, and it includes the cost of driving the vehicles. So the longer the distance, the longer the time, the more cost it will be for managing or maintaining their vehicles. So going back to the sheet now, check these. It's almost like done for you, but you just need to come up with the formulas to get the equivalent time savings per vehicle, and then calculate now the net benefit and discount this by the public interest rate. The same case applies for the net cost. You need to look at what is the cost of the DOT of managing one road, and then compared to managing two roads, I mean assuming after the concession period. So you need to calculate now the difference, and this will be the net cost. It is expected to have when they have a toll road, it is expected to have